Um, so after working on the next version for quite a while, and doing some work that had to be redone or undone and whatnot, Milestone 6 for Crystalarium is finally done. The goal was to make the simulation system, which I had just gotten working last version, more reliable and robust and make it function correctly, and whatnot, um, and make the code cleaner. I did succeed in most of those things. Code, not cleaner. Everything else I did end up succeeding in after a lot of unnecessary nonsense. Um, so yeah, let's go over changes. So first of all, you'll notice in all of the pre-existing rule sets, there's a new one. That signals now do this. That they like tilt to one side, and that's because they can go both ways. Um, this normally doesn't really affect things, but like in that example, it did. Previously, if you deleted an agent, it would depend on which one you placed down first, whether the signal would disappear or it would like if the signal would just fully disappear and then a simulation step later it would come back, or if it would just be there immediately. So little oddities like that are now gone because signals can go both directions. And it also allows for quite a few new different possibilities. I can demonstrate one of those. If we build like a little square, um, and this will make sense shortly. And we do this, or, oh, right, we do this, um, it fills up. It fills up, and now that information is stored. So it makes it really easy to make an RS latch. This is basically an RS latch. Um, with a small modification, you can make it so it only shoots one way. And ta-da! So that allows for a lot of new possibilities. And there's similar things you can do, weird stuff. But you know, the system is robust; it doesn't change, so that's cool. Um, yeah. So Crystalarium and minimal rule sets haven't had any changes, but there is now a new one available called Wire World. Um, this is a cellular autonoma. That's a hard word to pronounce. But it's fairly common. Um, there are four different types of cells in the cellular autonoma. Um, there are only three agents in Crystalarium. Oh, simulation's running. I was confused. Okay, there are only three agents in Crystalarium because one of them was just like blank nothingness, and we don't need to actually place that down. So there's an electron head. There's wire, electron head, and electron tail. Head turns into tail, tail turns into wire, and wire, if there is head adjacent to it, will turn into electron head. So this allows you to make wires, and it counts neighbors in eight directions. That by itself isn't too interesting, but if there are more than two electron heads, a wire will not turn into um, a wire will not turn into an electron head, so it'll stop the signal. So right here, it won't carry on, and it'll be blocked. So you can make a thing like a diode from that, where it'll go one way and not the other. So it'll go that way, but it won't go that way. And you can do all sorts of stuff with this, but it's a lot more finicky to use than the other rule sets, but it's interesting to play around with. Um, and there's some small changes, like you can now resize the window, which is great. The text doesn't scale or anything. Nothing really scales, but it expands. So that's nice. Eventually we will have like proper scaling, but I'm not going to worry about that for quite a while. Um, the next goal is to make it so rule sets can be like edited, and you can make your own, and I'll provide documentation and whatnot. Um, it might not be the goal of the next milestone, but if not, it'll definitely be available in the milestone after that. Um, but yeah, so the basics of the simulation system are functioning. Everything is working correctly now. For proof, I can go back and do what I failed to do when showing milestone 5 off, and build an AND gate in the minimal rule set. But we can build it more compactly, but like whatever. up, and it doesn't flow backwards or anything. So yeah, hopefully next version we get either the code actually gets cleaned and feels nice to use, or we get that system going. It'll be real cool, I hope. Yeah, thanks for watching. And I feel like this was distinctly longer than the last time. Only 5 minutes. See ya eventually.